All right.
A counselor and psychology educator, Ellen Sullivan from Dallas said, "Most of us live on the surface but never touching any depth. We are too busy living our lives, looking at the world outside, and too busy to listen to the word inside of us. The only way to live that depth and listen to the word inside us is to write regularly." That's what she said. Then I think, damn, probably she's right. Because most of the people, most of the famous people that I have known are consistent journal writers. You can name it, like Theodore Roosevelt, Benjamin Franklin, Charles Darwin, Ralph Waldo Emerson, Thomas Jefferson, Winston Churchill, even Justin Bieber and Miley Cyrus. So clearly, my purpose today is to encourage you guys to start journal writing. I know all of us are college students. We have a life to live, with a family to, take care of, girlfriends, boyfriends, buddies to hang out with, and all of that stuff. And you have schoolings to do. So it's hard to squeeze in some time in your life to kind of write something about you. So I hope this presentation will change your mind. So I'll go to the point. So what journal writing? I'm going to be talking about what is journal writing, the benefits, and also some tips to start journal writing. Some of you are looking at me like, what are you talking about? But okay, I'll do just that. I'll explain to you guys what is journal writing. Well, according to Michael Hardy and Harry Sky, who are the authors of the article Journal Writings Among All the Learners, say the practice of keeping a journal way back in the 56 CE, which is 56 years after Jesus was born. And in China, journals are written, then archived as historical documents. And in the West, the 4th century bishop and theologian Augustine is credited with having invented the literary genre of autobiography. Evolving much later, but derived from a combination of earlier journalists, is the personal journal. This kind of literature genre emphasis on the self, often the relationship with the other people, the events, and the ideas. Today, journal writing is very open. You can choose any time in your life. You have 24 hours to write with, and you can write anywhere, either the balcony, or you're waiting in a car for your children to get out, or in the back of your garden. Anywhere you have, sit down. You can sit down with a pen and a paper. Now, since you have a little bit, a little bit about journal writing, let's talk about the benefits. Well, why should you start journal writing? Well, because your children and grandchildren will want to read it. I know it's hard to believe right now. Your life is probably too boring and quite ordinary, and no one will bother reading. But every generation believes that life will. But it's not boring anymore when you're looking from a perspective that when you look back in history, see how your grandparents ride horse instead of gasoline cars and all of that stuff. So it is true with you also. When your grandkids are talking to people via hologram, they are going to be absolutely fascinated by your impressions of those ancient things like cell phones. And trust me, while you think that you'll be able to remember everything as clearly in the future, you won't. What if they ask you what life was like in 2011? Of course, you won't remember the details. And so I think you should keep writing your journals. Secondly, the second benefit that writing journals can bring to you is that it helps you to become a better learner of yourself. Have you ever struggled with a choice, or thought about it long and hard, make a decision, but then sometime later started to regret it? Have you ever gotten into a difficult situation which you can't seem to find a way out? A journal can aid you in these dilemmas. When you make a decision, you can write down all of the reasons why you come to that decisions, and then after time passes, when you meet the same situation again, you start to doubt that choice, so you learn from it. You can look back to your journal to find the times when you were happy, the time you were down, and you say, damn, I never want to be that man again, or what was I thinking, and then you change. Finally, writing about your feelings and frustrations help you focus on what's really going on in your life and in your head so that you can come with a solution to your problems. Thirdly, journaling grants you immortality. Think of the billions of people who have lived in this world and then they just live their life and then they're gone with nobody knows about. So a journal helps make you immortal. It is a tangible piece of evidence to leave behind that you were here, that you lived, you loved, and there was such a person called Daniel, lived in California, US. The fourth benefit that I want to share to you guys about journaling is that it can improve your health also. There are several studies that have shown that writing about the stressful events in your life can boost your emotional and physical health and your sense of well-being. According to Dr. Karen and Kay, who wrote the article Emotional and Health Benefits of Expressive Writing, they have a list of the health outcome and social behavior outcomes. I'll just read to you guys a few. Fewer stress-related case that you have to go to the doctor, improve immune system, reduce blood pressure, improve lung function, fewer days in hospital, and a lot more benefits. Now that you have known some of the benefits of journal writing, let's go over to some quick tips to start a journal. First of all, you have to pick a medium. Well, you have two different types of journal mediums, analog and digital. Analog journals are the traditional ones where you have a pen and a paper or some kind of books that you can write on, and you can personalize it. You can get as fancy as a handbound leather journal and a fountain pen, or just a big pen and a notebook. Just do whatever that works for you. And now with the advancements of the computers, many people have gone digital with their journaling. Secondly, the second tip that you should use to start journaling is to schedule a time. Starting a journal is very easy, but sticking to it on a daily basis is very difficult. If you want to make it a habit, just pick a time in your day for journal writing and make it a non-negotiable in your life. Personally, I like to do it at night before I sleep, but many people do it in the morning, or they can just do it throughout the day. So just do whatever that works for you, but just keep your commitment. So today I've shared to you guys about the history of journal writing, some benefits of journal writing, and how to start journal writing. As we mentioned above, while you might think your life is boring, your great-grandkids won't. They'll be just as fascinated about driving a car that runs on gasoline as are about your great-grandpa driving a horse. If your life is really boring, perhaps keeping a journal will give you an incentive to take on more adventures. It's time to get started. Pick up a pen and a paper and start your journal today. If you already have a journal and you left it for so long, today is the day to do it. And if you don't have a journal at all, keep on the good. And if you're a consistent journalist, keep on the good work and use today's journal entry to give yourself a pat on the back.
Shortage of hardware.
Yeah.
Take it out. I let him fix it.
All right, team.